For 19 years that Amy was at home with me, I never slept through the night. We called 911 32 times, I think, before she was 10.
He uses a wheelchair, he's nonverbal. It's very challenging. The stress level, I don't think you can compare it to many things.
I just find it infuriating that people that have no idea what it requires to take care of a special needs child are so cavalier about cutting hours and funding.
There's a misperception that the RHCs are the old-time institutions. In fact, they are full-service therapeutic communities.
The residents here are people with disabilities, usual multiple disabilities and primarily intellectual disability. So with that, it already makes a hardship for them to live in the community.
Every day we are working on an interdisciplinary team, whether that's a psychologist, myself providing the medical services, nursing staff, recreation.
Everyone is here and everyone talks to each other so they know everything she needs and they can provide it right away.
And that's probably the most cutting-edge model there is today in all of healthcare.
The day-to-day caretakers usually had experience understanding how to deal with these individuals, and they do it with a great deal of compassion and patience, remarkable patience at some times.
The residents at Yakima Valley School are our family, and it is our obligation and also our pleasure to provide a safe environment for them where they can grow and enjoy the remainder of their lives.
If a person has certain kinds of needs to a certain extreme, those needs are very difficult to meet in the community.
I've been told that she could have somebody check on her. Well, she needs more than having somebody check on her. She needs nurses and doctors 24/7. So I feel really comfortable here that she's safe and she's happy and healthy.
So the people that come from the community at large either are coming because they have a crisis in their lives, or they're in behavioral or medical crisis, or sometimes their community at large home has been shut down.
Oftentimes, Yakima Valley School is the last resort for clients in the community because they have failed multiple community settings.
About 13 or 14, he started becoming very aggressive. He would attack me while I was driving. He would attack my other children while I was driving. When he went into the group home, he was attacking the workers, and within 3 or 4 days, a landlord had come by and said, he can't stay in this house. When I went down to Rainier, it just was such a relief that this was not something that they couldn't handle, that this wasn't something that they hadn't seen before.
To me, as long as I'm able, I'm going to take care of my son at home. If you work a full-time job and have weekends off, you get 104 days off a year. I work in my home, and what I'm offered is 30 days of respite with plans to cut those 30 days.
Respite care is the only time that I have where I know I can schedule something and not be dependent on a family member.
I think respite is so vital for us as families of somebody that is profoundly disabled, because it's a very emotionally, physically, mentally draining job that we have raising these kids, and it is 24/7.
I believe that we as a society have a moral obligation to care for those lesser of us, whether that is a small child who is in need of care, an elderly person, or someone who has special needs.
So RHCs are an asset that must be protected. They need to be treasured. They need to be supported fully. All of the people who need them will continue to need them for a long time.
I'm not saying that Rainier is right for every special needs person, but it is right for a certain population. It is desperately needed for a population that needs to become stable.
I want to know when I'm not here anymore, Casey will still have her RHC home.